Electrical Safety Student Manual, Section 5, Safety Model Stage 1, Recognizing Hazards. How do you recognize hazards? The first step towards protecting yourself is recognizing the many hazards you face on the job. To do this, you must know which situations can place you in danger. Knowing where to look helps you to recognize hazards. Workers face many hazards on the job. Inadequate wiring is dangerous. What that means is wiring improperly, which could involve wires being too thin, could lead to overheating. Exposed electrical parts are dangerous because, of course, if they are alive, you might accidentally touch them and get an electric shock or be electrocuted. Overhead power lines are dangerous. The danger that might be present here is when someone is using a long ladder or stick. Wires with bad insulation can give you a shock. Electrical systems and tools that are not grounded or doubly insulated are dangerous. Overloaded circuits are dangerous. Of course, in that case, it's due to overheating of the electrical conductors, which can over time break down the insulation and result in arcing and then a fire. Damaged power tools and equipment are electrical hazards. Using the wrong PPE is dangerous. Using the wrong tool is dangerous. Some on-site chemicals are harmful. Defective or improperly set up ladders and scaffolding are dangerous. Ladders that conduct electricity are dangerous. Electrical hazards can be made worse if the worker, location, or equipment is wet. And of course, you know that when the skin is wet, its resistance is lower, which means a current flowing to the body is higher, which lead to more severe shocks and burns. Worker was electrocuted while removing energized fish wire. An electrician was removing a metal fish tape from a hole at the base of a metal light pole. A fish tape is used to pull wire through a conduit run. The fish tape became energized, electrocuting him. As a result of its inspection, OSHA issued a citation for 3 serious violations of the agency's construction standards. If the following OSHA requirements had been followed, the death could have been prevented. De-energize all circuits before work. Always lock out and tag out de-energized equipment. Companies must train workers to recognize and avoid unsafe conditions associated with their work. This that the man is holding in the picture is a fish tape or fish wire. This one is in a case. Some of them are wrapped, but they are not inside a plastic case like this one. Inadequate wiring hazards. An electrical hazard exists when the wire is too small a gauge for for the current it will carry. Normally the circuit breaker in a circuit is matched to the wire size. However, in older wiring, branch lines to permanent ceiling light fixtures could be wired with a smaller gauge than the supply cable. Let's say a light fixture is replaced with another device that uses more current. The current capacity, ampacity of the branch wire could be exceeded. When a wire is too small for the current it will supply or it is supposed to carry, the wire will heat up. The heated wire could cause a fire. Wire gauge. This is the wire size or diameter, technically the cross-sectional area. Ampacity. This is the maximum amount of current a wire can carry safely without overheating. And overload can cause a wire to get hot. When you use an extension cord, the size of the wire you are placing into the circuit may be too small for the equipment. The circuit breaker could be the right size for the circuit, but not right for the smaller gauge extension cord. A tool plugged into the extension cord may use more current than the cord can handle without tripping the circuit breaker. The wire will overheat and could cause a fire. The kind of metal used as a conductor can cause an electrical hazard. Special care needs to be taken with aluminum wire. Since it is more brittle than copper, aluminum wire can crack and break more easily. Connections with aluminum wire can become loose and oxidize if not made properly, creating heat or arcing. You need to recognize that inadequate wiring is a hazard. Incorrect practices can cause fire. Exposed electrical parts hazard. Electrical hazard exists when wires of other electrical parts are exposed. Or, let me read that again. Electrical hazard exists when wires or other electrical parts are exposed. That means parts that can conduct electricity. Wires and parts can be exposed if a cover is removed from a wiring or breaker box. The overhead wires coming into a home may be exposed. If you touch live electrical parts, you will be shocked. We have this handheld sander. It has exposed wire and should not be used. You can see the exposed wire at the top here. Electrical terminals in motors, appliances, and electronic equipment may be exposed. Terminals mean end. That means the end of the wire where it is attached to the motor. Or it could be that you have a coil inside the motor, but the coil comes out the chassis of the motor and you can screw on a connection or clamp a connection onto the end of that wire. Older equipment may have exposed electrical parts. If you contact exposed live electrical parts, you will be shocked. You need to recognize that an exposed electrical component is a hazard. We have reached approach boundary. We will look at approach boundaries and continue from there in a separate video.